Imagine moving to the UK, going through all the visa stress, the immigration, and everything, and then being a medical doctor and deciding to quit everything one day. Now, we're going to go into the details because I have this migrant here because he's just like you and I. I remember we share inspiring stories and experiences on this channel. So trust me, you're going to take something home. So he's going to tell us why he quit his job as a medical doctor, what he's doing now, and how that has impacted his life. So stay with me. Let's get straight into it.
Hello, everyone. This is Niyi Babalola, founder and CEO of Bablo Homes. Yes, I'm happy to be back on Tochi's channel. I decided to just drop everything because it was more like me working to get income. I know as migrants in this country, we are working long hours, there's pressure for bills, you're trying to start from the scratch, you're working incredibly hard, and progress might feel slow sometimes. But for me, UK taught me like you cannot just build wealth or build long-term income based on salaries alone. But I knew assets could do that. Realization of this is what eventually led me to quitting and going into Bablo Homes, founding Bablo Homes, and been doing Bablo Homes for more than 2 years now. But at first, of course, I didn't just quit. I went to form it. I formed the company first. Then when the company had already kicked off before I left. So I needed to grow something before I leave. Some people will still want to do a side hustle and continue where they are working. But for me, I wanted to go all in because I saw potential in what assets could do for me and for my clients. And that's why I went all in and left everything about healthcare.
That's interesting. So, guys, for those who are not new, Dr. Nige is not new on this channel. I brought him some time to share his story with us, and a lot of you wanted him to come back and answer your questions. And because I got you, I had to bring him back, right? So we want to understand, because sometimes some people couldn't even place their head around it, like medicine, medical doctor. This is a dream of a lot of people to come to the UK and practice, maybe become a GP, do that, and and then you had all that, and you just threw it away and said, I'm not doing it again. This is not for me. So a lot of people could not understand it. We're like, how? So let's just take you back to when you first came into the UK, right? When you moved to the UK from Nigeria, was life really what you expected, or was it tougher than you thought?
Honestly, no, it wasn't what I expected. For most of us from different migrants outside of the UK, when you're looking at the UK, it looks like a land of quick success. But that's the reality, that when you finally get into the UK, there's pressure, there's bills, there's childcare issues, there's starting from the scratch, there's a lot of things that you didn't factor in when you're looking to jackpot, right? You are working very hard, long hours, but at the end of the day, we want to make a name or build a legacy or build generational wealth or become financially free, things like that. So most of us, like me, like you people watching as well, will start thinking, is there something else I can do apart from my job that gives me this income? And that's when I started thinking, okay, property will be a vehicle for me to do that. So honestly, it was not what I thought.
But we understand that there's COS issue, right? And that could hinder a lot of people from doing what they would love to do. So how are you able to navigate that in your own circumstance? Because you're a medical doctor, and it's very easy for medical doctors to get COS. It's going to be way easier for a healthcare professional to get a job and get sponsorship than somebody who is not. So I'm sure in your case, it was easier for you to get a job and get sponsored. So how are you able to navigate that to still secure your stay in the UK?
All right, very good question. It's family. And when I'm saying family, I had to sit down with my wife and we had to plan it, right? What is the best way for us to go about this? Do I drop myself being the main applicant and become a dependent so I can do business? Or will you be able to run this business for us? So it was a discussion in the family that we had, right? I've got people doing the same business that I do. It's their wife that does it for them. But I knew if I did it myself, I might probably be able to do it better. Baby, sorry. Or I might be able to also better about the business
and make us more money.
Exactly. So,
Okay.
So I felt, okay, if I can also better and make the more money for the family and things like that, we need to make that sacrifice, right? Start counting again, right? So I now switched to become a dependent. She became an applicant. And yeah.
Nice. I like that. So, what was the biggest fear you had when you were leaving medicine? Because I understand how difficult it can be to actually leave what you have known for a long time. I remember even asking you this before we started this video. Like, do you even feel somehow when you see your colleagues, you see like your friends, your people doing medicine?
So let me put it this way. There was fear, and that fear was failure, right? I knew my business could fail. I knew that deep inside. Like they say, oh, many businesses will fail within 3 years, within 5 years. There are different statistics. So I knew that was a possibility. For example, when I stopped working February 2024, right, for like 3 months in my business, I had only one client, right? So I was almost thinking of going back, right? Like I'll just continue and start working, right? But I had this burning desire in me, like, if you hustle through, you might finally be able to make it through this business. Entrepreneurship is very uncertain. You cannot say, oh, I will make this amount of money in 2 months. You might make so much money this month, next month you're not making as much, right? But medicine or whatever job anyone is, right? IT, businesses as well, or probably you're in the paid employment is what I wanted to say. It's predictable, it's safe. As a professional, you're respected, right? But in entrepreneurship, no, it's uncertain. So my biggest fear was failure. I didn't want to fail, but at the same time, I didn't want to lose money, because going into this journey, you might lose money. Going into any business, you might lose money, and I didn't want to let people down. But most importantly, I didn't want to let myself or my family down. So I knew I needed to put everything I can into this. I didn't want to wake up 10 years later wishing that I had tried. Right? I want to wake up 10 years later and say, wow, we built that over the years. So I chose growth over comfort.
Guys, you see why I say it's good to have conversations with people sometimes, because you just get a different mindset. You get a mindset shift. You begin to see things from different people's perspectives, and trust me, I'm already learning so much from you. So once again, thank you for coming to do this.
You're welcome. You're welcome to show. I'm always glad to come on your show.
So guys, if you have any question for Dr. Niyi, leave it in the comment section. I'm sure he's going to see them, and if I need to bring him back again to answer your question, trust me, I'm going to do that. So now, talking about mindset, what mindset shifts changed it for you? When was the time when you just said, yeah, this is it?
Let's look at it here, right? Most of us that we are working, what do we do? When we are thinking of how do we want to make more money, we're thinking, should I take locum shifts? Should I take more bank shifts? Should I take a second job? But every time, what does it mean? You're trading your time for money. Even after having that full 40 hours per week, 70 hours per week, whatever you're doing. So I decided, like, I didn't want to just trade my time for money. How will I earn more? So I started to build assets that will compound. Speaking of assets, this interview with you, for me, is an asset, right? Why? Because I'll be sleeping maybe 3 weeks from now, and somebody is watching this interview, right? And the person might decide, like, oh, they want to work with me, right? Or the person is getting to know more about what my business does. That is me building assets, even when I'm not working. Now, I know when people say assets, everybody's thinking about property. But for me, this is one of my digital assets, because I can keep this for life. Some people might still learn from it later on. I might even make money from it later on. You see where I'm coming from? Because some of my customers might watch this. So for me, I started thinking it's not only about doing extra shifts or doing locum or start doing things that compound over time that can give you money over time. So I understood leverage. I understood systems. I started leveraging on other people's knowledge, other people's money. And exactly that's the same thing we do for my clients at Bablo Homes. Then leverage on my own knowledge, my own system, my own connections, my own power team, things like that. Yeah.
Okay, in simple terms, what exactly do you do? Like, what does your business do? For my audience, people that are watching you now and are feeling like, oh, how can you help us? What services do you offer?
All right, in simple terms, I've tried over time to make this into one line. So what I do is I help Nigerians living in the UK and living outside of the UK become landlords in the UK. Simple. I do not get property for people looking to live in their property. I help you get properties that people would rent and pay you rental income. So in simple terms, wherever you're based in the world, whether in the UK, whether outside of the UK, even though I said Nigerians, I have some clients that are Sierra Leoneans, I have Canadians, but what I'm saying is wherever you're based in the world, I can help you become a landlord in the UK.
I think I get what you mean when you said Nigerians, because it's quite easy being a Nigerian to just say Nigerians. And I get that from some of my followers who are not Nigerians as well. They say, Tochi, but you also have followers that are not Nigerians. Why are you always saying Nigerians? And I say, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
It's just like, it just comes natural because I'm Nigerian. So it's just easy to say Nigeria. Yeah. But so we understand that you mean anybody at all that wants to buy in the UK. Because I also have somebody here, like I just heard about somebody. I was reading an article one time that says there are so many Nigerians that own properties in the UK who are actually not living in the UK. So I'm sure you're one of those that help us.
The data shows that top 5 companies that own properties as landlords in the UK, top 5 companies, the owners are Nigerians that are not living in Nigeria. And I didn't even know that. And I've only started this business 2 years ago. So what I'm just trying to say is many people have been gatekeeping. So this has always been. So when I tell some of my clients, like, yes, you can access a mortgage for your business to own a property in the UK and become a landlord, there are some people be like, no, it's not possible. My friend, it has been possible for so long. What the lenders or what the old system looks out for is your money legit? Are you having a proper business? Are you coming to do something legal in the UK? Yeah. People from China, people from USA, people from Dubai, they invest in UK anyways. Yeah. So what would make Nigerians not be able to invest, right? If you have genuine
investors, different countries want people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just the same way people in the UK invest in Nigeria. It's the same way. Yeah. The world is a global village now, so everyone invests wherever your mind wants you to go. Fine.
So let's now go practical now.
Okay.
For somebody who says, okay, I have 30 to 50,000 pounds saved, is that enough to actually go into this? What do you think?
Absolutely. Right. In my company, I work with people that have at least 40,000 pounds, but that does not mean people that have 30,000 pounds cannot work with me. Right. People need to invest smart, not emotional. Most people, they just think you need hundreds of thousands, but that's not what you need. You need the right location, you need value adding strategies, and you need proper structuring, right? There are people that have 30,000 pounds or even 25,000 pounds that they might partner with their friend or their sister or their cousin, and they have a proper structure. Of course, they speak to the professionals to help them, and they start building portfolios like that. So you need proper structuring or people that know about this to speak to you or to help you. What I usually tell people is this, or some of the clients I've spoken to before. You see them suggesting things to be done. Just like some people might be watching now thinking, oh, I want to do it this way. But the point is, when you are arranging your pension fund or when you are speaking to your investment banker, why are you speaking to them? Because they know more about it, about your pension. Or when you're speaking to your mechanic, they're the ones that know about it, right? So speak to an expert that can help you structure properly, because it's not emotional. This is not emotional. This is investment. So you want someone who can help you invest in UK properties in the right location with value-adding strategies and, of course, with proper structuring. That's how we help my own clients to scale into multiple properties in a few years.
I know that for people outside the UK that would want to invest in the UK, they would have their fears. Oh, will I succeed? Will I fail? You know, what do you have to say to somebody watching us now that wants to do it, but still have some reservations and just fears and all of that?
All right. A couple of things. They have to do their due diligence on the company. Is the company properly registered? Do they have the right registrations to carry out what they are doing. For example, on my own website, I've got a compliance section, which is mandatory for me to put it on my website. Do they have a proper office? What's their track record like? What the people that they've been doing this for, are they happy about that? So what you're basically looking for, who is using the right system, who is helping you invest in areas that have potential growth, who is helping you do everything hands-free. Because you're based in Nigeria, you cannot monitor it. Some people will say things like, oh, I've got a sister there, I've got a cousin there. But your cousin or your sister, they are not property investors, or they are not even property managers. So it's difficult for them to be able to help you. So you need the right systems, the right people, the correct legal structures. You need the right companies to source it for you. Then if you have all this, distance is irrelevant. And that's why Bablo Homes exists, because we help people wherever they are in the world.
Okay, I've heard you talk about Birmingham. I know it's like you love Birmingham so much. What is it exactly in buying properties in Birmingham?
The reason why we at my company we always talk about Birmingham and the surrounding is because it is an investor's delight. I don't know how to break it down more than that, but let me tell you part of the reasons. There are billions of projects going on in Birmingham. If there are billions of projects, the projects will finish, right? Things like high-speed rail to London, for example, meaning when you're on the train to London, it's less than an hour, 49 minutes, right? So that means you can be working in London and living in Birmingham, right? There are projects that they are doing that are worth billions of pounds. What would that mean? It means there will be more jobs for people. Where there's job, that's where people move to. There are about 5 major universities and more in Birmingham. University of Birmingham, Birmingham City University, Ulster University. Like, you can just name them top of your head like that, right? But all these universities, what happens? Birmingham has one of the highest retentions in the UK, meaning when 80,000 plus students comes to Birmingham every year, more than 49% of them stay. So that means they will stay, grow a family, get jobs, but they need houses to live. Whose house do they live in? Maybe you, if you invest in me. So these are part of the reasons why I say invest in Birmingham. Good transport investment as well. And of course, it's still affordable compared to London. So this is why I always say Birmingham and its surroundings is a place for you to invest in. And of course, in the next 5 years, it's going to do at least 25% in capital appreciation. Because the last 5 years, it did 26%. So why not?
Okay. Yeah. So guys, now you know places you can tell this company to look into buying a house for you if you are interested. And feel free to contact Bablo Homes. They are your plug, okay? I can assure you that you will get value for your money. Trust me. And they are very, very detailed and accessible. Okay, so reach out to them. I'm going to leave all their contact details, Instagram handle, everything you need to know about them in the description of this video. So Dr. Niyu, do you have anything to say before we go? Because we know that it's very hard to see you. So when we have you, we want to get all the knowledge we can get from you. And we understand that you're just busy winning awards here and there, so it's very difficult to get a hold of you. Even though I'm going to try, if they have questions, if my people want you, I'm going to try my best to bring you, because whatever they want, they get. Guys, what do you think? So yeah, please, what are your final words for us before we go?
All right, my final words would be, it's good to be back again on your show, Tochi. And for everyone watching, yeah, I don't want you to choose comfort. I want you to choose freedom. So if you've got money sitting in bank and you're thinking, what should I do with this? Properties and assets you can see and you can touch. So get into that. You're not going to only make money just because you bought a property. You're going to make money in 3 different ways. You get rental income, you get capital appreciation, and every 2 years, sometimes even every year in the UK, rent increases. So you also still make money as the rent is increasing. So why not?
And you can still sell the house.
Exactly.
More than you bought it if you want.
Exactly. So if you sell your house, if you sell the house, of course, if it's in the right location and you make profit, why not? So some people like me as well always buy, renovate, and sell. So you can do that. And of course, if you want to learn anything like this, for example, I've got a community I'm growing, right? You can join for free. Tochi will put the link below. Cheers. Bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much. Appreciate all that you do for the community. So thank you so much, Dr. Nee, for coming. We appreciate you. And thank you everyone for watching. Do well to contact Dr. Nee and his team. All their contact details and everything you need will be in the description box. Okay, thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye-bye.